Franny K. Stein, Book 1, Lunch Walks Among Us, Chapter 3, New at School. Franny and her family had just moved to the house at the end of Daffodil Street, and she was new at school. She liked her teacher, Miss Shelley. She thought she would like the other kids too, but they really weren't very friendly toward Franny. The other kids weren't mean, they just had never known anybody like Franny. Nobody else had a jump rope like Franny's. Franny's lunches didn't look like the other kids' lunches either. And when they played hide and seek, no one could find her. Franny could tell that the other kids were afraid of her, and that made her sad, because she really did want to make friends. Her teacher, Miss Shelley, noticed what was happening, and one day she asked Franny to stay after class. Chapter 4, A Proposal. Miss Shelley was the nicest, smartest teacher Franny had ever had. Franny used to think that if only she dressed differently and wore her hair another way, she would be perfect. "You're a wonderful student," Miss Shelley said. "Thank you." Franny said, "I like school, especially science, especially the gooey parts of science." "I like the gooey parts too," Miss Shelley said, and they both laughed. "I'm a mad scientist, you know," Franny whispered. "That must be very rewarding," Miss Shelley said, but she didn't really believe that Franny was a real-life mad scientist. Franny could tell. "But I wonder if you might be a little lonely sometimes," Miss Shelley continued. "I am lonely sometimes," Franny admitted. "But I don't understand the other kids, and I don't know how to make friends with them." "I think you can figure it out," said Miss Shelley. "You're smart." Franny folded her arms. "I don't know, Miss Shelley." "Think of it as an experiment," Miss Shelley said. Franny's eyes lit up. A wide grin crawled across her face. An experiment was the one thing she just could not resist, and Miss Shelley knew it. "The experiment." Franny pointed into the air the way mad scientists do when they think about conducting an experiment. "Begins tomorrow." Chapter 5. The Experiment Begins. The next day Franny came to school prepared to start her experiment. Before class she observed some of the girls playing with dolls. Franny was delighted. She knew about dolls. She loved dolls. In fact, she loved them so much that she had even made some special modifications to the ones she had at home. One doll was Jumpolina, a fashion doll with steel teeth that could easily munch the heads off other dolls. Another doll Franny was proud of was Oozette, who gushed sticky gunk whenever one were to hug her. She was just about to tell the other girls how Jumpolina could bite the heads off their dolls when she noticed something. Their dolls were all kind of sweet and pretty. They all had long hair and flowery dresses. Not a single one of them oozed buck. They didn't ooze anything. Franny made a note to herself. "Pretty, non-head-biting dolls," it said. and less oozing. At lunchtime, Franny sat down at a table with a bunch of kids. She was getting ready to take out her exquisitely delicious crab ravioli in pumpkin sauce when she made another observation. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on her left, lunch meat sandwiches on her right. As far as Franny's eyes could see was a carpet of soft, white, squishy sandwiches. No casseroles, no stews, no shish kebabs, just sandwiches. Is this all they ever eat? She whispered to herself, and she made another note. Squashy sandwiches, it said. Franny stuffed her lunch into the trash. During recess, the kids decided to play softball. I have the ball, one of them said. But we need a bat, another one said. A bat, Franny thought. Finally, something I understand. She reached into her backpack to get one. Just then, a little boy ran past her with a baseball bat. Batter up, he shouted. Said Franny. There's more than one kind of bat. As her classmates started playing, she took out her notebook and made another note. A bat can also be a big stick you use to hit things, she wrote. After school, Franny picked up her backpack full of customized dolls and spiders and notes and bats and headed home to analyze the data she had gathered that day. Chapter 6. Back at the Lab. Back in her room, Franny looked over her notes. She made some calculations and puzzled over her findings. Nice kids, she said finally. Kind of boring, but really nice. That night, Franny dreamed about how much fun it would have been to play dolls with those girls, or to trade sandwiches at lunch. Even softball looked like fun, in spite of the fact that they used the kind of bat that didn't have cute, veiny wings.